What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XPR network today. I'm a master ventriloquist. You don't even see my lips moving here. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, you guys. Let's get going. Okay, here we are at about 0.0038227. On a weekly basis, you are forming lower lows on the weekly RSI. That's so sad. Oh, wait, hold up. It's not. It's actually not that sad, you guys. Lower lows here, higher lows here. That's what we call hidden bullish divergence. It's hidden, but it's right in front of your face. From a high to a low, you have found resistance right at the golden ratio area. Oftentimes when you don't hit the golden ratio, you find resistance at it, something like this. You do see prices that go below the 382. The fact that you're still holding above the 382, I think, is actually rather well. It's a good thing. You could go lower. You're at $0.00382 dollars right now, but you could go down to about 0.003. That shouldn't be of a concern at all. That shouldn't be too worrying. What would that bring you to a drop? To like a 20% drop? So it's about like a 20%, yeah, like literally a 20% drop. Okay. Right there, if we delete this line, we take away the fibs now. That's at the 382, right? Delete that. You have prior areas of support kind of in this area, prior areas of support here and here, resistance kind of in this area. Could you go lower? Absolutely, you could. You know, maybe down to 0.003 to 0.0025, but I think dropping all the way down to 0.0025 would just be too much for this thing. 34, I mean, it could happen. It could happen, and it would be at a prime area for support. If it did happen, that's not a bad thing, guys. Don't mind me. I gotta crack my neck here. Okay, just gotta. Oh, there we go. I had to do that. Okay, I felt it. Sometimes when I feel it, I need the relief. Anyways, it feels good, man. It feels really damn good. But at 0.00382, let's see here. Looking at it. I like the weekly RSI a lot, man. I really, really do. What about this low to high here? What are we doing here? Going down to the 382 here is what we already had. I'm sorry, I already had that. High to low here. Oh no. Okay, so it was this low. Oh man, the 382 lines up. You got 2, 3. Look at that's so perfect. They're right on top. I literally thought I just did this fib. I was like, oh, I thought I did this fib, but when I drew this, I'm like, oh, I must have just drawn this fib. Okay, so they're right at the same area there. Oftentimes you don't look to find support at the 382. You look to find support just below it, and to be fair, you did. But the fact that this is your second interaction, I wouldn't be surprised at all if you stopped right there. So 0.00308, 0.03077, somewhere in that area, guys. That's where I think you're going to go to. A little bit like a 20% drop or around there is what I would expect. And then from there, we're going to resume our merry trend on up, right? If we move down here, something like that, right? You're going to have this nice higher low pitch coming up out of this wicked wide W pattern here. W's now, what W's like to do generally is they like to, unless they're a failed W, and actually this is a good example of a failed W. It still worked out for anybody that bought down here, but this W was failed because the high did not go above this high. And when you stop below the high and you see this kind of stuff, you oftentimes do go down. You go down below the W. That's why it's a failed W. W's, if they're successful, what they do is they actually bring you above the W pattern. Right, so I'm not drawing that perfectly, but yeah, just imagine that this was the real line right there. Anyways, this W here, it's completely possible that you do go above those highs and you see prices above 5 cents. I don't anticipate that, and I wouldn't say you're a failed W if you find resistance here, right? This is a much larger time frame than what we're dealing with here. You can find a little bit of turbulence and continue on your way, right? It's like just because you're consolidating here doesn't make this a failed W, but that's just how I'm perceiving it. What if the W didn't start it back here? What if it started right here and you're already above it now? You know, however you want to phrase it, however you want to look at it, that's fine. But if we are looking at this from a fib perspective, from an overall high to the low of this move here, your bear market low there, high to low, I would anticipate that you stop somewhere around 1.8 cents to 3 cents, or just maybe above 3 cents as well, because it is very common, don't get me wrong, in these kind of circumstances to stop right in this zone. So don't be discouraged if you stop here. It's totally fine if you do. You might even come back down and find support at the 618 and then continue to run, right? Have these higher lows coming up with you. But you could go through the 886. We've seen it enough times this cycle where things do just make these phenomenal runs right up to their like high points from before their bear market lows there. And you have resistance right here at the 886 right there at about 2.9 cents, literally right there at about 3 cents. You do have prior areas of resistance here at that same area. So, I mean, going above 3 cents, staying below 5 cents is a very real possibility. But just, I wanted to open up the idea, you know, maybe we do see a price that's above 5 cents. It's not completely out of the question. If we look at this high to low here, let's see here. you know, the money zone for this is right here between the 886 and the golden ratio. Why is it the money zone? Because I colored it orange. I don't know, man. Sometimes in strong moves, it's not. It's the money zone because oftentimes, let me just explain my logic, right? You're not gonna if you ask where's the money zone in the fibs, you're probably gonna get a bunch of different answers, or somebody, or it's not gonna come up as a result at all. The money zone is a term, is a phrase that I coined for this fib zone specifically. Oftentimes in very powerful moves, which I think you're in, you will run like basically directly up here, and on a weekly basis, it's obviously it's taking longer than just like a day, right? But if you do run up here, I would say that basically is just one fell swoop to the upside. Oftentimes when you interact with this area, it's a good stopping point. It's the money zone because oftentimes you don't break through that, at least not on the first attempt. In some crazy, crazy bullish situations you can, but on very insignificant fibs you can, but that's a significant fib. I don't think that you do break above 4.45 cents. I think that 3.27 to 4.45 cents is a good target goal to have. But even if you do stop at about 1.5 cents, 2.3 cents, those are suitable targets as well. There's reasons to find resistance there. But I really do like the money zone because it's right in between the 886 and the 100 level of this even more significant fib, right? Your cycle, not cycle high, but cycle low right before the bear market drop here, high to low kind of move there. It's right in that target area. So if not, maybe 2.2 cents, maybe at the lowest 1.8 cents happens, and you probably do drop a little bit lower, right? If we take it from where I think it's going to go, even just above there, let's take it from 0.0031 or 313, whatever. If you were to go up to the minimum target, which is the 2618, that's a 7.2x. If you go to the 886, that's a 9x. And if you hit the money zone, you're looking at a 10x or even a 14x capability. Okay, from the current price, that maximum target still is about a 12x. The minimum target then becomes something of like a 6x. So it's not bad gains, no matter how you look at it, man. It's really not bad, even at a minimum standard. Like that's, by the way, 2.2 cents is essentially what I would accept as your minimum. I suppose you could stop at 1.8 cents, but that's still like a 5x. That's not bad at all. But I would expect this next move to take place with the rest of the crypto space. I think that we are about to see alt season kick off, and with that, you'll probably see a bigger move than anything that you've seen in years, right? Like it's going to be bigger than anything you've seen since this downtrend began. So I do expect it to be bigger than your last move. If it is bigger than your last move, let's just say this move started here, not at the actual low, but just where the move started. And we put it right here, not at the actual low, but where the move might start. And it might start, right? It might start a little bit lower. So let's just put it, this will be conservative to a certain degree. I mean, hey, that would take you right to your minimum target if you saw the same move, let alone if you see a stronger move. I think considering prices between 3 cents and 4.5 cents is a very realistic possibility. Okay, but let's bring ourselves back down to earth. Yes, there's a bunch of bullish things going on. Yes, you look pretty charged up to the upside, man, and looks like this proton is positively charged. But is that even a thing? Yeah, protons. Can protons have? Are they? I don't know. I'm not a chemist, so if that's wrong, I'm sorry. But I think I'm going to ask Grok, damn it. Let's ask Grok, because I'm just curious now. They can be positively and negatively charged. Can protons be positively or negatively charged? Or are they just positive? Are they protons are always positively charged? Okay. See, high school chemistry didn't fail me completely. I did think that it was positively charged, but I wasn't 100% sure if that was the whole thing. But whatever, man. Anyways, I'm getting all distracted here. 0.003833 right now. I do expect that we go to the downside. Okay, I do expect that we go to the downside still. The 4-hour RSI doesn't look the best, if I'm being honest. The daily RSI would allow for us to go lower still and find support at areas that we've found support before. A move like that could result in something of like a 20 to 30% drop. Oftentimes when you find support, this is what it looks like really immediately. That's what it looks like really immediately. So I don't think you're going to find support here. I think you're whittling the floor away. You might move up. Don't be surprised, right? We're at 0.00383 right now. If you were to move up to 0.0047, that's fine. You can do that. But that doesn't absolve you of going lower, right? If you want to absolve yourself of going lower, let's talk about that actually. That's a worthy point in this discussion. From a high to a low, let's see, do you even respect this fib? Yeah. Get above 0.006. Get above there, and then you can absolve yourself of going lower. Until then, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Yeah, you got to get above these highs. Yeah, above that 786. I'll start to consider that maybe I'm wrong if you get above about 0.00467. But until then, I'm not completely convinced yet. And until then, likely you're going to go down to 0.00308 to 0.0027, somewhere in that zone. Okay, so a little bit lower. I would assume on the lines of a 20% drop, not a 30% drop. Probably at a 20% drop. And then from there, we'll rip, man. It'll be good times had by all. I got nothing else for you guys. I hope you liked the video. I'm doing that ventriloquy thing again. It looks like I'm not talking, but I am talking. I'm just a master ventriloquist. Oh, there we go. And I'll see you on the next one. Have a good day. Hit the like button and subscribe. All right, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I said